Hey everybody, happy return to the Beading Dreams tutorial stream. It's been a solid minute since I did this, so hopefully, oh my god, what is happening with my hair? Hopefully I have audio. It looks like I have audio, I have video. Yeah, I gotta remember how to teach classes on the internet, because that's a thing that I haven't done for like 3 weeks. It's kind of crazy, but hey, I see Lori, I see Aso, I know Heather's out there, and I know that Amy's here, so welcome back. Hooray, you can hear and see me. I'm very excited by that. That means I haven't completely forgotten. I mean, it's the same technology I've been doing for the sales. It's just, you know, I don't know. It feels different somehow, even though it isn't. So welcome back to Beading Dreams tutorial. So what are we doing this evening? We are doing these I have christened our full sale earrings. And if we want to look at the actual sample, it is this one here. Come on. So basically just a fun, why the hell is my light, There's a whole train of thought there, if anyone wants to hear it, but basically right now it's just the fact that my light just completely came off of its little bracket. There we go. And now let's aim that at my hand instead of out into the wild blue yonder. And ta-da! There we go. So, full sale earrings. So this is our tutorial for this evening. So it's a fun kind of cable suspension sort of earring with chain, with a little bit of wire wrapping, a little bit of top drilled wire wrapping, and also I am not, though that would have been more lights, not more cams. So a little bit of wire wrapping, a little bit of top drilled wire wrapping, and of course a nice wire wrapped link here at the top. So it's a fun one. Once again, those of you who are familiar with wire wrapping, like, I can probably show you this and you're like, okay, you know, I know how to do this, but just for grins, we're gonna go ahead and teach you all how to do it tonight anyway. Sorry, there's a thing that just keeps refreshing on top of the screen, and it's like, what are you a problem? What are you telling me? It's telling me nothing important. Okay, so let's talk tools and supplies for this evening's tutorial. All right, so you are going to need some wire. You can use 24 or 26 gauge wire. I've got some 26 gauge, sorry, I'm a rotten liar. I've got some 24 gauge wire here that I'm going to use this evening because I do have pearls, which is going to fit that 24 gauge wire fine. You're going to need some fine chain. Yes, chomping. I am finally letting Heather eat for the first time today. We're short. 25% of our Beading Dreams staff is on, because there's only 4 of us, so is on vacation this week. So it was just Heather and I, and yeah. So yes, I'm finally letting Heather eat more food since she did not apparently bring enough tortilla lasagna for both of us. So yes, I did feed the Heather and the Amy. By the way, I ordered pizza, so I have done my duty for feeding the peoples that I love and that do things for me. Hey, there's 7 of you now. Welcome to the Beading Dreams stream. We're talking about tools and supplies. Okay, so we talked about wire. I've got 24 gauge wire. I'm going to use gold filled wire. Today you're going to need some kind of fine link chain. The size of the link of your chain is actually a limiting factor for your wire, so you need to make sure that whatever wire you pick will fit through the links of your chain. This is actually important. And then of course your wire also has to fit through your beads. I'm going to use some freshwater pearls today for my beads. You're going to need let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7 of them. Wow, that math does not even work out a little bit, because 7 times 2 is not 16. 7 times 2 is 14. So excuse me while I change that. All I have to say in my own defense is that I was writing that supply list at like 4 in the morning. Yay! Hi, Pam. Welcome back. Okay, so 7 beads per earring. That's 2, 4, 6, and 1 on the top is 7. That means 14 beads total. This earring's gonna work best for you with a 4mm or so bead. You can use a round or a rondelle. In addition to your round or rondelle beads, you're also gonna need some teardrops. And I just brought the whole, bowl over of them, but you really only need 2. So I'm going to pick 2 that kind of match. So that's these 2 here. All right, so you're going to need 2 top drilled teardrop beads. And then, of course, if you're going to make a pair of earrings that is functional and goes in your ears, you're going to need a pair of ear wires, which I also have. Yes, exactly. Please don't expect us to be too normal, because if you're expecting 100% normalcy, you are 100% watching the wrong stream. So let's go ahead and cut some of that 24 gauge wire. Again, you can use 24 or 26 gauge wire for this. And I may have made a I made one misstep in that I have, you know how many tools I have over here that I need for this project? I have one. I have a wire cutter.
What you need?
I need pliers, round nose and chain nose, because those are required for wire wrapping projects, and I 100% did not. Okay, seriously, I haven't, thank you, Heather. Oh, I have Heather's own brand new personal chain nose pliers. Let's try not to break them. So let's talk real quick about tools. You are going to need to have a round nose pliers. That's this one here that has the rounded jaws. That's what we're going to use for a wire wrapping. Chain nose pliers are for grabbing and holding things, and then you are going to need a wire cutter. But seriously, like, this is what happens when I don't teach tutorials in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, however long. How the hell long has it been? I don't even know. But I forget that you need things like tools to make jewelry. Apparently it's a thing. So now that I have all my tools, I'm going to go ahead and cut some of my 24 gauge wire. I may have made another fatal error aside from forgetting to get tools, which is I may have gotten bigger wire than I need, so I may need to get up and grab some 26 gauge wire. We shall see. But for now, I'm going to cut myself 12 inches of my 24 gauge wire. That should be, assuming that this fits all of my beads, that should be enough to do all of my wire wrapping. So I'm actually going to start with my teardrop beads. Okay, so wire wrapping top drilled teardrop beads. This is something that we have had multiple streams on, but it's one of those. Okay, you guys go over there and you sit. It's one of those things that you really can never, I think, have enough kind of refreshers and tutorials on, is wire wrapping your top drilled teardrops, just because, just like your basic, thank you, mind reading, Heather, just in case. Everyone should have a Heather, but you can't have mine. She 100% just brought me the spool of wire that I will need if the wire that I just cut is too large.
She's a wire fairy.
She's a lot of types of fairy. Which does remind me, everybody mark your calendars for Saturday, October 30th. We are going to be doing a Halloween stream where we will be in costume. I will be the green fairy, Heather will be the Morgan, and we will have death in the afternoon as our cocktail. It's guaranteed to be a pretty hilariously good time, because anytime you get Heather and I and absinthe and champagne in the same room together, we are guaranteed to get pretty ridiculous. So that's going to be our live merchandise sale. That's going to be Saturday, October 30th. At 7:30 p.m. That will be preceded by a tutorial, as yet to be determined, but right now we're going to go ahead and we're going to wire wrap these teardrops. So when you're wire wrapping a top drilled teardrop like this one that you see before you, you can't do it the same as if you were wire wrapping a bead on a head pin, because if you did that, wire wrap the top and the bottom, whatnot, your bead would not hang the, you know, the way that you would want it to hang, which is usually with the wide part at the bottom. So wire wrapping your top drilled teardrops is kind of a, woo boy, excuse me. It's basically a two-part process, the second part of which is very much identical to, in fact, completely identical to basic wire wrapping. But the first part is a little bit different. So we're going to start with our wire through our bead, and we're going to have a short side and a long side of the wire. So that means I'm going to have about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of wire on one side of my bead, and I'm going to have the entire rest of my wire, which remember was about 1 foot. Pretty sure that's more than 1 foot that I cut, even though I was trying to measure 12 inches. Anyway, 1 foot-ish. Oh, right, you're a medical professional. Woohoo! Amy will be on hand for the Death in the Afternoon Halloween stream, just in case Heather and I literally drink ourselves to death. That's exciting.
Yay! If y'all drink yourselves to death in 2021, I'll be really upset.
I'm not, there's no comment here about what year it is.
2021.
It's Amy is so fancy today. She's all like, her hair's all blown out and she's wearing makeup and she's extra fancy. Okay, so regardless of my measuring skills or non-skills, you want about 1 inch or so of wire on one side of your bead, and then however much wire you cut on the other side. Now, I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to bend it against the hole of the bead, like, well, heck. Big O heck. Okay, this happens sometimes when you're dealing with top drilled beads. What happened? The entire top of the bead broke off.
Do you need another bead?
No, I have a whole dish of beads.
Okay.
But
it oh-hecked.
But it oh-hecked. But this is a thing. I think the most traumatic time that this happened to me in my career was when I had a $65 bead. I had a $65 briolette of rutilated quartz, and I did exactly the same thing. So the thing about top drilled teardrops is, well, first of all, now I gotta find 2 more that match, which might take me the rest of the broadcast. But seriously, the thing about top drilled teardrops is that it's pretty fragile, this little point here where the drill hole is, and so you've got to be really careful. So to that effect, we're going to try this again, and we're going to be a little more delicate, though sometimes the answer is you really just need to use a thinner wire. So if I break another one with my 24 gauge wire, we're going to call that a bad choice, and we're going to go with the 26 gauge wire instead that Heather kindly provided. So where I was when I broke my bead was, let's bend this up against the holes of the bead, much better, to make a triangle. You want to make sure. Wow, the springs in these pliers are very springy.
Yes, I haven't broken them yet.
I'm not used to that.
It's weird, right?
It is weird. Alright, so you want the point of your triangle to, as much as you are able, to be directly above the point of the bead. Now, by directly above the point of the bead, I'm talking about like alignment, like aligned with the central axis of your teardrop and above the point of the bead. The closeness of your triangle top to the point of your bead is up to you. Obviously closer looks a little bit neater a lot of the time, but if you can't quite manage that, that's okay. Okay, the closeness of it to the point of the bead as far as distance is really just an aesthetic thing. The most important thing is that it's centered above the central axis of the bead. Usually the central axis of the bead aligns with the point, so you know you're good with using the point of your bead as a reference. Wow. Okay, so now I'm going to take my chain nose pliers. Chain nose are the flat ones. Those are the ones that are used for grabbing, holding, and smashing. And we are going to grab the longer of the two wires directly above the point where those two wires cross. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bend it back so that it also aligns with the central axis and the point of that bead. So now if I were to take a line just straight up through the central axis of the bead, it should cross through the point of that triangle and then straight up that wire. Now I'm going to wrap the short wire around the long wire, and usually I just do that with my fingers. I don't involve any pliers in this, and I'm just going to go like 1.5 times. Okay, so 1.5 times is all you need, and the reason for that will become clear in just a minute. Once you've done your 1.5 times, go ahead and trim. And then once you've trimmed, you will probably have a stabby little bit. You can see my stabby little bit right there. Well, here's hoping I don't need the mouse since I just threw it on the floor. And we're going to go ahead and press that down just with our chain nose pliers. So that's just all about angle. You want to take the very tip of your chain nose, you want to catch that stabby end, and you just want to squeeze it gently so that it curls in with the rest of your coils. In this case, you know, just completes your 1.5. Now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and do a basic wire wrap loop. This is something that we're going to do multiple times in this tutorial. So we're going to start with our our round nose pliers. Round nose have rounded jaws. You can see they are tapered. They are like stabby little ice cream cones, and your round pliers will help you to get an actual perfectly round loop. So we're going to grab with our round nose pliers so that they are touching the top of that wire wrap that we just did, and then we're going to take our other hand. Okay, so I'm right-handed, my pliers are in my right hand. I'm going to use my left hand here. That's going to be my wire moving hand. That means I'm going to push my wire away from me over my pliers to make a 90-degree angle. Once I've done that, I'm going to loosen my pliers, rotate them 1/8 of a turn, and grab again. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing right on that corner I just made. I'm going to pull my wire back up over the top and down, so that what it's doing is it's starting to make a circle around that pliers. Now what I need to do is I need to finish my circle, which means I need my wire to go here. I have a problem though. This part of my pliers is in the way, so I'm just going to loosen that, rotate, grab again, and then finish my loop by pushing my wire underneath my pliers and away from me to make this. This is what we here on the Beading Dream stream call Our Lady with a Scarf. The main points here are we want a loop that is centered or mostly centered over the central axis of the teardrop, and we want a 90-degree angle between these two wires. Now I'm going to take my chain nose pliers, I'm going to hold across that loop, both sides, like so, and then I'm going to wrap my wire. I'm going to start at the base of this loop, and I'm going to go all the way down till I meet the end of wire that's already there. And when you're doing these wraps, you want to make sure to actually pull, okay? So with these two fingers here, I'm going to pull, and that's what's going to help me get my wraps nice and tight. Amy, is that a metaphor? Like, I'm confused as to where's the humor in this.
That wasn't meant to be. Yeah, that went wrong.
Okay.
That's what she said.
I mean, fair. All right, once you've met the end that's already there, you're just going to go ahead and trim. I don't know that stabby is the word I would hope for vroom vrooms to be.
No.
Like, no, like, yeah, there are other words, but stabby, not so much.
Stabby, not the general idea.
Not the general preference. At least not my general preference.
Some
I mean,
people can be stabby.
some people, I'm no kink shaming on the Beading Dream stream for sure, but stabby not my preference for my vroom vroom. Just
Stabby's
saying.
a little less vanilla than I'm into.
Yeah, no, I am. Have you seen what color I am? I am definitely vanilla. All right, so now we have our teardrop with a wire wrap loop, and yes, my camera has decided that it's going to be high noon on the Beading Dream stream, and that's just how it's going to be. So now we're going to repeat this with our second teardrop so that then we can go ahead and assemble our earrings. Of course, we are going to have to take a second to cut our chain, but right now, where's the hole? Oh wow, that's a stupid place for a hole.
That's what stabbing called.
Right? But, okay, but seriously, look at the hole in that bead, because it's really dumb.
Oh, it's such a pretty bead.
It's such a pretty bead, but the hole is just...
Oh, dear.
Exactly! It's so bad.
It starts out well.
Well, it doesn't end well. I don't think that should go back in the dish.
No.
I don't know what we're going to do with it, but that bead does not get released back into the general population because
No.
it's bad. Yeah. No, it's not functional really as a bead or anything else.
No, it requires a lot of finesse.
So anyway,
Yeah.
now I'm gonna find another bead to match the bead that I
That you can't be friends with.
that I pulled to match the bead that I broke, and then its friend was dysfunctional. God, and I don't even have a Heather that I can do like Heather Story Cam while I do this, so you just have to look at the top of my head.
Sorry, I'm looking for Herkimer's.
Oh, okay, fair. Heather's looking for Herkimer diamonds for another stream viewer.
I think she will go.
She's hunting Herkimers. Right? Watch Allison find beads. I feel like that's not actually a very exciting stream, Lori.
It's also not the first time we've had that stream.
Well, that's true. But, okay. So, I found another bead. So here we go with the top drilled wire wrap. So I'm going to take this bead. And so the thing that was so unfortunate about the bead that I had a minute ago is that the hole on it was not even remotely, like this one's kind of crookedy, but it literally like it ended like halfway through the bead. It was pretty bad. So this is unfortunately something that is a problem with the top drilled teardrops, and a lot of that is because, sorry, I can't see, apparently today I cannot see anything with my glasses on if it's close to my face. But anyway, so the thing about the top drilled teardrops is they are, for the most part, drilled by hand, which means that they're not as regular as the ones that are machine drilled that come out of, usually the hand drilled stuff's coming out of India and the machine drilled stuff is coming out of Hong Kong. And I will say the teardrops that come out of India are still way prettier than the ones that come out of Hong Kong. The ones that come out of Hong Kong are very kind of, I don't know, they don't have a whole lot of personality to them. But then the trade-off to that is, since you're dealing with hand drilled beads, is the holes are sometimes a little bit weird. Okay, so once again, we've got a long side and a short side. Wow, that is just so bright. Maybe that's why I had that light. Except it doesn't even change anything. Right, well, you go over there, because obviously nobody wants you right now. Alright, so I've got a long side and a short side. I'm going to bend those two up against the holes of the bead to make a triangle. And once again, we want the point of that triangle to be, as much as we are able, directly above the point of the bead. Now I'm going to take my chain nose pliers. I'm going to grab that long wire directly above the point where those two wires cross, so, and I'm gonna bend that wire straight so that it is aligned with the central axis of my teardrop. Now I'm gonna take the short wire, I'm gonna wrap it around the long wire 1.5 times. Once I've done 1.5 times around, I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off, like so. And that little stabby end, I'm just going to take my chain nose and I'm going to compress that so that it curls down with the rest of my coils. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a basic wire wrap. So I'm going to take my round nose pliers, I'm going to hold so that I'm touching the top of that wrap that I just made. Now with my non-plier hand, I'm going to go away, rotate, back up over the top, rotate, underneath. That makes our famous lady with the scarf. Then we're going to hold across our lady with the scarf. So I'm holding both sides of the loop, and then I'm going to take the long wire and I'm going to wrap starting at the base of the loop. And I'm going to wrap down until I meet the end of wire that's already there, like so. I'm going to trim that off, tuck it in. Also, it's a more precise skill set than you might think to actually be able to do a wire wrap while keeping your wire wrap on camera. Just saying. Alright, so there's that, my second wire wrap teardrop. Now I'm going to take a pause and I'm going to cut some of my chain. Now when I'm doing this earring, you basically need 2 pieces that are just a wee bit longer, 2 pieces that are just a wee bit shorter. So I'm pretty sure what I did on this was the 2 shorter pieces were about, is that true? Because these 2 are basically, you know, your guy lines, your lines that are holding it, and these are basically decorative. So I'm gonna go with, these are actually the shorter pieces. Sorry, I made these samples a solid week ago and I have slept since then, I promise, at least once. So these pieces are 1 inch and these are 1 inch and 1/8. Okay, there's not a whole lot of difference here, but there is a little bit. So since I'm doing a pair of earrings, I'm going to need 4 pieces of chain that are 1 inch and 4 that are 1 1/8 inch. Okay, so for anybody who's actually writing that down, Lori, those are your measurements. So 4 at 1 inch, 4 at 1 1/8 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that now. Now, if you wanted to, you could absolutely cut your chains using a piece of wire, putting the ends of the chains on wire to make sure they were the same length. Since there's only 4 of each length, I'm not gonna bother with that. I'm gonna use my little cheater method that I like to use. So what I did is I measured my 1 inch and then I grabbed that length that I need to cut with my cutters, and then I'm just going to fold my chain like so, and then I'm going to cut that length with my cutters, and then I'm going to go down to the end here, which you can barely see, but I can't let it go. So where those 2 lengths align, where I'm going to cut next, I'm going to grab that with my cutters. I can take my length that I've cut and pull it off and set it aside, which is sometimes easier said than done. There we go. Alright, and then once again I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold that in half like so. I'm going to snip there, and then I'm going to grab down here. That piece gets set aside. Thank you for cooperating more this time. Again, snip And this is my last piece, so I'm just going to snip. So those were my 1-inch pieces, and again, there were 4 of those. And then we're going to do 1 1/8, and there are going to be 4 of those. There we go. Whew. Again, today, having one of those awesome days where I can't see anything, whether I'm wearing my glasses or not. Also, apparently my camera doesn't want to focus on me. Camera, focus. Thank you.
Allison's the best thing over there, camera.
Well, it apparently does not agree.
Well, it's wrong.
Alright, so I got 4 1-inch pieces of wire. Now we're going to do 4 1 1/8 using the same method that I just used. Okay, so we're going to make 4 of those. And yes, this is going to require way more concentration than you think it should, because that's just where I'm at the moment. So I have missed all of you terribly. It's nice to see all of you out there on the Beading Dream stream. Of course, we have tons of new merchandise in the store, which means we are going to be featuring new merchandise in our live merchandise sale. That's going to begin about 30 minutes after this broadcast ends, so it's going to be sometime between 7:30 and 7:45. It's going to be a sale mostly of tiny shinies tonight. Yes, sorry for all of you who are groaning at what that's going to do to your wallet, but we have lots of beautiful new tiny shinies, and I want to share them all with you today, plus some CZ Pave charms. So it's going to be a fun Tiny Shinies and CZ Pave show for you this evening. Alright, so now let's put these earrings together. So I've got my 1-inch pieces of wire, and I've got my 1 1/8 inch pieces of wire. And when I say wire, of course you know that I mean chain and not wire, because again, it's been a minute since I taught a tutorial and my brain doesn't exactly work right this second the way that it's supposed to. Right. I'll get back in the swing of things, I promise. Okay, so we've got our 1-inch pieces of wire and our 1 1/8 inch pieces of wire. So now we're going to grab, and I'm going to go back to my 24 gauge wire because I know that that's going to work with my pearls. So I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I'm going to start with a basic wire wrap loop on the end of my wire. So this is the same thing that we did on the top of our teardrop. The way that this works when we don't have any beads on here is we're going to grab with our round nose pliers about 1.5 inches from the end of our wire, and then we're going to go through that same procedure that we did to make the loop in the top of our teardrop. So we're going to go away and rotate back up over the top, rotate out of the way underneath. This makes Our Lady with the scarf. Now here's the difference. We're going to put a piece of chain onto this loop, and we're going to put a piece of our longer chain. Okay, so we're going to take that 1 1/8 inch piece, and we're just going to catch the end link of the chain, she says, whilst being unable to do that. Sorry, bear with. Haha. See? Being able to actually see it is half the battle, unfortunately. At least it's unfortunate when you can't see it. So, what I did was I caught the end of my chain in the end of my wire, and then I'm just going to feed that chain all the way up my wire, and I want to pop it into that loop like so. Okay, then I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and I'm going to continue with that wire wrapping procedure, which means I'm going to hold across that loop like so, and I'm going to wrap the short wire around the long wire. I'm just going to do 1.5 or 2 times, okay? You don't want the wire wrap to take over in this instance, so you don't want a whole lot of coiling going on. Then we're going to trim. Like so, and then press down our pointy stabby bit, because of course nobody likes pointy stabbies. So you're just going to grab like so and press down. I don't know what your fascination with stabby pointy things is tonight, but I'm still going to go with no.
Okay,
No pointy stabbies.
that's fair.
Do that on your own time.
Okay.
Alright, now I'm going to assemble my earring. So I'm going to do, the pattern is 2 beads, short chain, 1 bead, teardrop, 1 bead, short chain, and 2 beads. So that looks like this. 2 beads, why are you talking to the chain?
Well, this math is really super wrong.
Wait, okay, hold on. I can't see the math.
It says $10 a foot, $1.83 an inch.
Yeah, that's, math is super wrong. Yeah, you are correct.
It is not, but I am.
Okay, so anyway, 2 beads. Now that we're talking about, oh, the joys of having a small business where you use. Hi, Kilroy. Pointy Stabby are the black sheep cousins to the 7 dwarfs, Heather. So says Kilroy 806. I think that they are correct.
I think you're right, Kenneth.
All right, 2 beads and then short chain. But I feel like, don't there need to be 7 of them? So what? We got like pointy, stabby,
Stinky.
pointy, stabby, stinky, angsty. Need 3 more. Stream.
Funny.
Hangry.
Hangry. Hangry's definitely one.
Punny.
Punny. Well, you're not letting the stream pick any of them.
Well, that was me.
Okay.
She's
We
on
need
the
at least
stream.
1 more like black sheep dwarf.
Dolly.
Munchy.
Munchie, yes. I like hangry. That's
That's a good
Yeah.
that's a good one. I know the yesterday when I had to take the cat to the vet, and so I wasn't gonna get to my mom's until later, and she was like, "Okay, well, do you want to go to lunch then?" I'm like, "Oh, are you gonna be okay?" And she got mad at me. She's like, "Of course I'm gonna be okay." I'm like, "You're gonna be hangry. I know you're gonna be hangry by the time I get there." That's what I mean by okay. I just can't say it. Oh goodness! Of course, Ace. That went there. But now we've got 8 dwarves. Is the problem here?
Well, maybe that's why they weren't the 7 dwarves, because they can't get it together.
Get it together, Pierce.
There. Okay, so what I have is, okay, so I've got 2 beads and a short chain, 1 bead, my teardrop, 1 bead. Now I'm going to put another short chain on. Pointy, stabby, stinky, hangry, munchy, horny, and humpy. Oh goodness. Yes, this is the quality of entertainment you get when you tune into the Beading Dream stream. Is you know, creating alternative mirror universe names, or mirror universe, not names, personae for 7 dwarves. Okay, well, if Punny is gonna be one, then we need to kick somebody off the island.
Okay,
Who gets kicked off the island?
I also need to share that
Sometimes the stream doesn't know what's going on.
Amy's stream chat censored a lot of this, so ASO's comment said
Hey,
asterisks.
you
I
can
have to
come
come-
on the camera. Yeah. Hey, look, it's a Heather.
ASO's comment said asterisks and Humpy asterisks because the twins
Are
are
censored.
censored.
Okay. So what you're saying is I need to... I don't think that's... Well, that's not our auto mods.
No, that's the mods getting it. All uppity. Maybe uppity is another dwarf.
It's been looked at the answer.
Okay, Uppity should definitely be one of the Black Mirror dwarves. For sure. Okay, so... Hey, this is still a tutorial stream, right? We don't get to the Allison and Heather just talking be silly stream until later. So we have slightly later. I know. Well, I need to finish these earrings first, or we're never gonna get to the sale stream. So now I've got 2 beads, and I'm gonna do another basic wire wrap with a long chain on it. Hey, I'm out of practice at, tutorials and stuff.
It's hard. Tutorials and stuff.
Well, nobody else seems to believe that.
I do. I'm a big believer in you. And apparently stabbiness.
Stabby dwarves?
Yes, well.
I mean, goodness, Heather.
Look, lady, it's been a long week.
It has been a long week, and it's only Wednesday, people. All
It's been
right.
a really long week since yesterday.
Right. Okay, so this is what you should have so far. Now we're going to make another wire wrap loop here, and we're going to attach another long chain onto it. That means I'm going to go back to my round nose pliers, and we're going to go away, rotate, back up over the top, rotate underneath, lady with the scarf, and then we're going to attach a long chain. Yeah, so it really has been a long week, since yesterday. Heather and Carol were here holding down the Beading Dreams fort all by themselves, as they do on Tuesdays, because they're amazing. But apparently yesterday was the day that all the mean and nasty people decided to call/come in. Meanwhile, I was attempting to not murder my mother whilst driving with her. I was driving, she was a passenger, on the Dallas North Tollway during rush hour traffic, which anyone who has ever been to Dallas or driven in the city the size of Dallas probably has an inkling is not the most fun thing that one could do on a Tuesday afternoon. After that, then I got to put together a piece of IKEA furniture while she was staring at me, which anyone who's ever put together a piece of IKEA furniture before knows that that's not always a stress-free experience either. And
I'm so glad you made it.
I'm here to say nobody died. Just in case anyone was wondering.
And
No.
I didn't have to run bail anyone out.
No. But if there were bodies, which there aren't, but if there were, I would not disclose their location on the internet.
I think that's a good plan.
But the actual fact of the matter is there were no bodies yesterday. Except possibly I might have run over a toad in my driveway.
Oh no!
Well, there were a lot of them, and they were hopping where I had to drive, and
Not all toads are fast enough, apparently.
no. So I may have killed a toad yesterday, but that's it. And
Hi, Corpus.
and the toad murder the toad murder was unintentional.
We thought.
I mean, seriously, they were hopping where I needed to park my car. The driveway is not that big. You've seen the driveway. You can verify that it is not that large.
It is not that large.
So there's only so much, places you can go to avoid toads.
There's only so many places they can hop.
Well, they should hop faster then. Also,
Faster and elsewhere.
who is having a bass party out front?
I don't know, but I'm sorry about their eardrums.
I'm sorry about our eardrums. Okay, so at this point, what you should have is this. All right, which looks...
Are we sure they're not having a bass party, like, in the store?
Well, I don't think they're in here. Okay, which looks pretty awkward, but as soon as you bend it, like so, everything's going to loosen up a little bit. And so then we have this. So you just bend it up so it looks like a little smile. And then you've got that.
What?
And hi, Corvus. And now we're going to do one more basic wire wrap loop to put everything together. So that means away, rotate, back up over the top. Sorry, I got distracted talking about toads and possible murdering thereof. I swear, if I murdered a toad, it was not intentional.
So, then don't call it murder, first of all.
So
it was toad slaughter at worst.
I was gonna say, was it toad slaughter? Or was it second degree toad slaughter? I mean, what are we talking here legally?
Totally unnecessary.
What are the legal consequences of my potential toad slaughter? Since it was unintentional, they committed suicide by car. They jumped their little toady selves in front of my wheels as I was trying to avoid them. So I'm gonna say that it was at worst assisted toad suicide. Okay, Corvus wins that argument 100%.
What were the toads wearing? Were they asking for it because they had short legs?
Oh goodness, yeah, no, I'm walking this back. I am not victim blaming the toads.
You did.
I did. I'm taking it back, woman. No, my intention was just to park my car. To be fair, there are a lot of toads in my new neighborhood. There are way more toads in East Dallas than in Richardson.
There
Just
are
saying.
N-1 toads in East Dallas now. Perhaps.
There's no princes available anywhere?
I did not kiss them all to find out. So, possibly I squished a prince. Oops.
The only one.
But he shouldn't have jumped under my car. Anyway, continuing on with the project.
Are we?
We are, actually. So now so I have this basic wire wrap loop. I'm going to catch, and I'm not going to be able to do this on camera because I'm not going to be able to freaking see it because my eyes done got old. But I'm going to catch 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of chain in this wire wrap loop. So you guys can talk about victim blaming and toads a little bit more while I'm trying to stab this chain with this wire.
Toads croak.
Well, to be fair, I don't actually hear toads like croaking in my...
That's
Well,
'cause
they're
you
probably-
killed them all.
They're drowned out by the cicadas.
Okay, well, actually, I haven't noticed. The cicadas have chilled a little bit. I don't know if we're past cicada season or if Ziggy just ate them all. And apparently I killed all the toads, according to Amy.
Oh.
So I'm a horrible person. I'm giving up. I'm switching to 26 gauge wire. This chain is like Wow. Sorry, Corvus. I just put my glasses back on and saw Corvus's comment. Oh goodness.
They're just a little dead.
I'm
Only
glad.
mostly dead.
Yeah, only mostly dead.
They're pretty
So all I
squishy.
need to do is find a miracle pill and I can bring them all back to life. Just as long as Ziggy doesn't get a hold of them first.
Oh goodness.
'Cause
There's no miracle pill that is Ziggy proof.
Well, there's a lot of things that aren't Ziggy proof.
Mice are definitely not.
No, mice, cicadas,
Yeah, they don't make it.
birds.
Mm-mm. No chance.
Okay, so what happened here? What happened was we're gonna get off of the fact that I may have killed a toad last night.
At least we were off the murdering.
We're gonna we're going to return once again to the project, and I switched to 26 gauge wire. Why did I switch to 26 gauge wire? Because I really want to start the sale at some reasonable time, and the 24 gauge wire that I was using, it was really hard to get it through the end of this chain. So I switched to 26 gauge and caught all 4 of my ends of chain in that 26 gauge, and I'm going to hold across that loop and I'm going to wrap. Okay, somebody else comment something, because Corvus's comment is just staring me in the face.
Well,
Is it guilting you?
It's totally guilting me.
Maybe guilty's another dwarf.
I guess I could sing in the arms of an angel.
Okay, no, that would not be helpful.
In the arms.
Okay, y'all, they're ganging up on me here at the Beading Dreams.
After you bought us pizza.
After I bought them pizza, I know. I fed them, and now they have energy to, you know.
Yeah. That's the problem. We've never had this energy thing before.
well,
What's this about?
That'll teach me to feed y'all. Goodness gracious. Keep the
That was Amy, though.
keep
It wasn't
the people,
me, just
you know,
so you know.
starving and
In
stuff.
the arms of an angel always makes Heidi cry.
Well, cause I mean,
It's sad.
cause all of the sad like SPCA commercials or whatever.
Half dead animals.
Yes, God, that
Or
stuff
nearly
is
dead.
seriously triggering. Like, I cannot, on my Facebook feed, I have to hide all of that stuff because I just can't. Cannot. Okay, seriously, somebody comment something. Because Corvus's comment is still out there and it's guilting me.
Well, Asa said LOL.
Oh, man. Okay, that means I need to grab my mouse. Because I can't see that.
Truth hurts. Huh?
It's true. The truth does hurt. Okay. Thank you, Heather. Alright, so now that I've got this wire wrapped, I'm just going to put a bead on there and I'm going to wire wrap the top, add my ear wire. Yes, this stream went off the rails really fast. Oh, it was a tutorial and then...
And then it was the tutorial.
Oh, you're mean.
I'm the mean one.
Wait, yep.
I'm the mean one. Okay.
Yep. Rotate. Back. Rotate. Be careful. I'll put you on camera. Underneath. There we go. That's yes, you are the mean one. Oh my god.
I meant me. I didn't mean you.
There, you're on camera. That's your punishment for that. Say hi to the internet.
Oh, internet. I didn't mean it like that.
Yep. Yeah, that was Heather's punishment for that. Oh Lord. Okay, so anyway, now let's add an ear wire to this earring. Because some of you out there are probably here to actually learn the project or something. So I'm going to take this lady with the scarf and I'm going to take this ear wire. And I'm just going to thread that wire into the ear wire, pop it into the loop of the lady with the scarf, and then I'm going to wrap it closed. Now you're just making up dwarf names.
Yes, I am. That's what I said I was going to do.
No. That's not actually what you said you were going to do exactly.
I said I was going to list dwarf names one by one.
I just so that I just assumed you were going to list the dwarf names we'd already agreed on, but no, Heather's making her own tribe of dark dwarves.
I think it's a band of dwarves.
So now, it's a band, not a tribe. Excuse me. So now I'm just curious to know how many are in this band of dwarves whilst I
Depends
finish.
on when I run out of adjectives.
Okay, well,
Or adverbs.
so are you gonna run on adverbs first, or am I gonna finish this project first?
We'll see.
This is a question
I
that
bet you
begs
finish the
answering.
project first. have a lot
Well, you
of
have rather a
descriptors.
large vocabulary. It's true. Okay, so now I'm gonna wrap this down till I reach my bead. Now, if you forget to put your ear wire on there, do not despair. Despair should be a dwarf. Crappy. Do you have? Are you making a clan of perimenopausal dwarves over there? Just curious.
Well, Muddy and Pitchy are not.
Roshi wants to know, shouldn't it be a dwelling of dwarves?
It could be a dwelling
I mean,
of
we
dwarves.
do love our alliteration on the Beading Dream
Oh,
stream,
goodness.
So,
I accidentally turned on my text to keyboard. It's typing things now.
oh dear. Well, I have
so
no
I decided
words.
I just posted. Welling up towards love.
Okay. Anyway, continuing on. So now we're going to trim that off and precedent. But what I was saying before I realized that Heather was listing perimenopausal dwarves is that, first of all, you actually have to cut the thing for it to work. Drinky, well, Drinky is definitely the patron dwarf of the Beading Dream stream for sure. Drinky and Flamey. Make sure you tuck your end in, because pointy stabbies are not welcome on the Beading Dream forky. Oh Lord, this does not bode well for tonight's sale. But if you forgot to put your ear wire onto this loop that you just made, it's okay, because it does actually open. So it's just a time-saving step. It's not an essential step. Okay, so we have one earring done. Okay, I have to stop looking at Heather's comments, or I'm just going to keep laughing and we're never going to finish this. Okay, so now we're going to do the second one. I'm going to do that whole thing with 26 gauge wire, because that's going to make this process go a little faster. So you're going to see this in, hi Chuck Silver Jewelry, goodness gracious. Yeah, welcome to, I don't even know what's going on here. Welcome to the first Beading Dreams tutorial in like 2 weeks, and apparently we're all a little bit deprived over here. So yeah, welcome to the madness. It's not gonna get any saner, just FYI. So I am gonna finish this tutorial shortly. We're gonna take a brief break, and then we'll be back with a live merchandise sale, probably around 7:45. So on that note, hey, let's finish this tutorial. I'm gonna stop reading Heather's comments, and she can keep scaring everybody just as much as she wants. Round nose pliers, basic wire wrap loop with a long piece of chain. No, with a short piece of chain on it. See, she went and distracted me. Short piece of chain. So round nose pliers, basic wire wrap loop. Alright, we're going to grab the end of the wire. We go away. Rotate back up over the top. Rotate underneath to make our lady with a scarf. It's okay. You can keep scaring the new people. I mean, if they get scared away, then I'm sorry, new people, if you get scared away, but, you know, maybe you weren't our people? I don't know.
There's no keeping me down.
That's not very nice, but
No.
we're weird, okay? My point is we're weird on the Beading Dream stream, and there's no stopping the weirdness. It comes out no matter how normal we try to be. It's gonna get weird. So if you're not okay with it getting weird, then we appreciate you stopping by, but maybe this isn't the place for you to hang out. If you like a little bit of, medium level weirdness, we are here for you. We are happy to provide that in your life. And sometimes, oh, yay. See, you didn't scare the new person away.
Yay! He has been here before.
Well, yay. Well, you didn't scare the newish person away.
No.
That's good, because we do weird. Alright, so I've got my chain on there. I'm going to wrap it up. Like so. Megan! Sorry, that was really freaking loud. Sorry. Hi, Megan, who is joining us from California. It's been a minute since she's been on a stream, so it is good to see you out there.
Yay!
Yay. Alright, pointy stabby, getting tucked in. Wait. Okay, apparently now I'm scary. Well, if I'm scary,
just 'cause you were
then
loud.
yeah, I was loud. It's true. Let's see, if I'm scary, the other way.
This way?
It's from tip to handle. So if you're gonna pull it, yeah, hold it that way.
Okay. This way?
That way.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Thank you for not clipping that,
No.
ASO.
No.
Yeah. No, hold on.
Yes.
No, because she's pulling, not pushing.
Oh.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, welcome to the Beading Dream stream. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna push down my pointy stabby.
Here, 2 here. So yeah.
Okay, so again, 2 beads, a chain, 1 bead, a bead, etc. No, Corvus, there will be no talk about deceased toads anymore on this stream, though I guarantee you I'm gonna tell the toad story again on the sales stream. 'Cause, it's a good story. Amy just said totally. Why did I mention the toads?
You said it was totally believable.
I think you did.
Yeah. Where'd they put the pizza?
I didn't have any pizza, so that's all you guys, frankly, because I have had
To have
zero
what?
pizza. All I did was I grabbed a piece of the gluten-free pizza and I gave it to Alonzo. But I have had no pizza. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah.
I have had none of whatever the other 2 here have consumed. Lord.
Not toads. We didn't consume any toads.
No,
That's
No.
good.
I'd be foamy.
Yes.
I'd be having toad funerals.
Well, I haven't actually looked in the driveway, so I don't have actual evidence of whatever happened to the toads, therefore there will be no funerals.
Oh, good.
Okay, so there we go. Now we're going to do our other wire wrap loop and add the chain to it. So, once again, we go away, rotate, back up over the top, rotate, underneath. Good old lady with a scarf, last piece of chain, and wrap it up. Again, when you're wrapping up, you are going to hold across and just wrap until you hit your beads. Oh, goodness. I mean, to be fair, I could probably have a Viking funeral in the drainage ditch behind my house.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Close to where he lived.
It's a Viking funeral where you light them on fire.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
And we
Yep.
could make a sailboat.
Yeah.
We could totally make a sailboat for the
should
possibly presumed...
I think Smee's about to get fired.
Are you all hearing this? Because I'm assuming you all are hearing this. Okay, I'm finishing these dadgum. I'm
Such
finishing
language.
these toad blasted earrings.
Dad, blame it.
I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna clip that.
How
Anyway. Alright, so I need one more piece of 26 gauge wire, which is here. I'm gonna make a basic wire wrap loop. Sorry, y'all, this is not the best tutorial I've ever taught. I blame the toads for that. Corvus! What the fuck?
She said that.
17 toad emojis! Y'all are awful!
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Earrings. Alright. Last wire wrap loop. Away. Rotate. Back up over the top. Rotate. Underneath. And there's our lady with the scarf. Now I'm going to catch all 4 of these pieces of chain. Ugh. Corvus, you are making me regret that I got you tiny things. You're turning against me. Alright, catch all 4 of your pieces of chain on that wire wrap loop. That's 1. Also, I challenge any of you to... No, I challenge any of you to drive a car up a driveway that's full of hoppy toads and not potentially shorten the lifespan of 1 or 2 of them. Come on. Y'all are the worst. You're just
We are the
so
worst.
awful. Oh my god, you're so bad. I mean, I have toad houses in my garden. Like, do I gain back any karma points for
I
that?
think some
course.
of them are homeless now.
Wow, Amy is just not letting up. Oh my gosh.
They'll be empty residents.
I get nothing from Amy. Except guilt upon guilt upon guilt.
You'll just have a ghost town, that's all.
Ugh.
No more toads. It's so sad.
Okay, actually, that's not literally not possible because there are so many toads in East Dallas. Like I
Where
pop.
do they come from?
I don't know.
White Rock Lake. I
White
assume.
Rock Lake is my guess because
They don't like it there?
there are way more toads where I live now than there were in Richardson. Like every time I'm no longer looking at the comments.
That's...
Y'all are dead to me. So have a good time.
Oh.
But still, so many more toads in East Dallas than in Richardson. Alright, so I'm going to wrap this. Like, seriously, every time I pick up a plant pot or something in my garden, there's a dang toad underneath it, which I like the toads. They're cute, and some of them are, like, wee tiny small, and some of them are, not. But I'm not trying to, single-handedly eliminate the toad population of East Dallas, just so
Well, that's good.
everyone knows, despite the fact that... Okay, again, no more comments for me. Not looking. Not looking.
We're just putting nothing.
Yeah, no, not looking. Got my pearl on there, and I'm doing one more wire wrap loop, which is away, rotate, back up over the top. Hey, someone should tell Talifet that we're doing tiny shinies tonight.
On it.
Underneath. That's my lady with the scarf. And attach your ear wire onto that if you can figure out where the hell your ear wire even is after all of this guilty toe nonsense. And slide that on. Fold across. and wrap. And believe it or not, despite all of the shenanigans, we have still managed to finish an entire project. You know, it only took 30 minutes longer than planned. But, ta-da! We did it. We have one pair of full sail earrings. So you can adjust the curve on the bottom to give you the desired, you know, kind of amount of tension here with all of your chains, but these are a fun little earring that shouldn't actually take you an hour and change to make, as long as you stay away from all mentions of toads and their possible demise while you're doing it. So hey, thank you all so much. Thanks for hanging out on the Beading Dreams stream for our full sail earrings. Ta-da! So for anybody out there who doesn't know me, I'm Allison from Beading Dreams in Dallas, Texas. I'm returning to streaming after about 2 weeks. No toads were harmed in the making of these earrings. Corvus, dang it. No toads were harmed. Oh my god. Y'all are gonna kill me. I'm gonna die right here, and it's gonna be all your fault. So, of course we still love you, Corvus. Love you, hate you, you know, it's two sides of the same coin.
It's true.
Hey, I have your mother.
We don't feel indifferent.
I have your mother of pearl. Be nice to me, or the mother of pearl gets it. Just saying.
No.
So, I'm Allison from Beading Dreams in Dallas, Texas. We will be back on this channel, twitch.tv/Beading Dream, very shortly. All right, we're gonna try for a solid 15-minute turnaround.
I think we can do it.
For our live merchandise sale, we're gonna be doing Tiny Shinies and CZ Pave. See, Corvus, I have leverage too. All right, so we'll be back in about 15 minutes, 7:45, with the live merchandise sale back on this channel, twitch.tv/Beading Dream. So, yeah, we gotta go do the stuff, do the things. We'll see y'all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.